And good morning, everybody. Good Wednesday morning here on the 30th day of August. So glad you're out there and tuned in to the two best hours of local live talk radio here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Roger B. here with you this morning on this day. And, the whole team is together. I'd like for y'all to say good morning to our good man, Mr. Rob Atkinson.
Hey, good morning.
And in the chair, number 3, say hi to Charles Frazier.
Is this thing on? What is going on?
Yeah, you
Tapping
got
his mic
Technical
again.
difficulties.
Yeah, that's the way you work the mic. You got to go.
Right.
It's a wake-up call. You got to do that. How you doing there, gentlemen?
Well, I'm doing well. How about you, Rob?
Doing great.
right,
Fresh
good.
off of election coverage last night. It was a
Wow.
It was a long night with those two races. We were there till 8:45.
7:15.
Polls closed. I was downtown, and I said, I'm going to swing by the courthouse and say hi to Rob, and I did. It was
Cocktail in hand. Hey, just enjoying a little drink.
Oh,
How's it
surprise
going there,
party
Rob?
for me.
Slaving away over hot ballots.
really.
Well, the runoff is complete, and we've been talking about it for days and days and days and weeks. But it looks like, obviously, you heard the reports. Stella McMahon coming out on top as far as the coroner's race in the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. She goes on to the good old general election, and as well does in the first district, the supervisor, Justin J.J. Anders.
Well, I know a lot of folks were wondering what would the turnout be yesterday here in Lauderdale County. I've got the numbers here. This does include the absentee votes, and there was around 280 absentee votes. And, of course, this went pretty quick last night, but the registered voters in Lauderdale County, 41,298. Of those registered voters, ballots cast 5,957. That was a percentage of 14.42%. So that's the amount of folks that turned out for the runoff yesterday.
Now, that came in well above what I thought was going to happen.
I thought it was going to be around 10% or maybe a touch lower. So
that's where I was.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking.
I agreed with that, and it's like, man, well, good on you there. We're making improvements here in Lauderdale County. More people coming out to vote. That's good, but a long way to go.
Yeah, the vote totals ended up being on the coroner's race. Stella McMahon had 3,346. That was 56.26%. Kenneth Graham with 2,593, 43.60% percentage. There was 8 write-in votes on the coroner's race, and on District 1 supervisor. Pretty wide gap here. Justin J.J. Anders, 1,509. That was just over 63%. Chris Bullock with 879. That was hovering around about 36.81%. And Roger, it was pretty early in the night. We got there's 5 precincts in District 1, and we got the numbers, a little after 7 o'clock, because obviously the camps are watching the polls. They get the numbers pretty early, and there was about a little less than a 600 vote difference before absentees last night. So that race was basically over pretty early last night because there was no way that Mr. Bullock was going to be able to catch up due to the amount of, there wasn't a lot of absentee votes there. So, but we kept a close eye on the coroner's race because that was one that everybody was kind of paying attention to last night. And the
only countywide race.
Yeah, so Stella McMahon will move on to the general election, and Rita Jack will be her opponent on November the 7th. And for Anders, he'll face Tyrone Johnson, the Democratic opponent there.
Well, once again, I just want to say the process is important, and thanks to all of those who put their names on the line and said, yeah, I'm going to go out there and try for this office, because that's what this is all about, folks. It's a democracy, and it is we get to choose, and if there's no one running, then we don't have choices. And so I say a big congratulations to all who are out there on the campaign trail. And we'll see what happens in November.
Sure. And I was looking at the boxes last night from those 5 precincts in District 1, and J.J. Anders swept all 5 of the boxes last night, did very well in the Bailey community in that box. Had some pretty wide gaps there, so it was a great night for Anders. And like I said, he'll go on for step number 3 in this process. Of course, had the primary, the runoff, and now the general election. So I imagine that Stella McMahon and J.J. Anders are going to take a little bit of a breather before we head into round number 3.
Yep.
So, here we go. But, kudos to Kenneth Graham and Chris Bullock. I thought they ran fantastic campaigns, 2 solid guys, and I think their futures are bright here in Lauderdale County. Appreciate them putting themselves out there. We enjoyed having them here on the program, and I thought they ran great campaigns and did a great job. And it's politics. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, and we wish them the best as their futures. I'm pretty sure they've got a lot of good plans down the road. Of course, Chris does a great job over there at Caters Market, and I know Kenneth Graham is involved in a lot of different things in the community, so I know they're going to be just fine. So there you go. So that's the runoff from last night.
And, kind of interesting to note that almost 40% of the votes were from District 1, countywide. So, that was really the big driver. I think that, it's kind of, I hate to say it, but it's hard to get excited about a coroner's race. I think obviously Stella had a lot of support, but it's not something where you're really going to go out there and change policies or anything like that. It's an official of the county, obviously, who's doing a very important service. But it's not something where you can vote for somebody who's going to affect change, whether that's taxation or roads or anything like that. So that's kind of why District 1's had such a high response rate. Now, I'd be interested to know the number of registered voters in District 1 and what the percentage was that actually came out to the polls. Because obviously a lot higher than the countywide, 14%. It may have been 25, 30% or something like that. So that's a stronger indication of kind of the civic-mindedness of our community. So anyway.
And that would bring them out if you're a supervisor, because very good point. You illustrated 2 different jobs. One's a service that's important. Yeah. The other office is one that provides a service, but yet affects a lot of different change in the county, this way or that way. And so they came out from District 1 to cast that vote. I just know
when I voted yesterday at the Meehan precinct, it was around 2:30, and I was number 61.
Okay.
And I was the only one there voting, and the poll workers were like
shooting rubber band wads, against the wall,
coloring, twiddling thumbs, just doing whatever they could do to keep themselves busy.
Tiddlywinks.
It was.
It hit me, guys. It hit me when I walked in and I saw my good friends at the polling place. I went about 1:15 or so, 1:30, and it was at Russell, and of course, I think I was like 76, 77, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
In the day, but I said, I appreciate Ed and his dear wife Gwen being there and all the folks there, but I said that's going to be me when I finally get fired from the radio station. When I finally quit my other job,
poll worker.
When I finally get through to this other, when I stop doing all my stuff, I'm going to go because Ed and his wife, they retired and they're providing a good service by being poll workers. I said that's what I'll be doing.
Oh.
I'll be a poll worker. I'll be a poll, and I wore mine yesterday.
I had the sticker. I got one of the.
I declined the sticker.
You declined.
I think I'm fine without the sticker.
You declined it.
Well, I did. I was on my way home. It was about 6:45, and I thought, what am I going to do? Show Trish, and she'd be like, "Oh, you voted." And I was like, I voted.
Yeah. Did she vote too?
She had the sticker actually. Yes, so she did vote and was wearing it proudly.
She did not decline the sticker.
I'm not a sticker guy.
No, he didn't do the sticker. He was giving discounts for all the people wearing stickers at Weidman's yesterday.
Should have, but tell him now. That's right. And does not apply today. Sorry.
Got a comment here on Facebook from Tammy. We love Tammy. She said she voted at Fellowship Church at 2:30 yesterday, and she was number 176. So pretty good, decent little turnout there at Fellowship Church yesterday. So.
All right. So feel free to chime in because you can see us on Facebook. You can give us an input on that, and we'd love to have that. And that's just unfortunately, you get to see our faces.
Well, guys, bottom line in this coroner's race now, when it goes to November, there is going to be some history made here. Obviously, we're going to get a new coroner. It's going to kind of turning the page over from the Cobbler family being in that position for many years, but
decades.
Decades. It's been unbelievable. But you're going to have 2 women vying for that office of being the coroner. That's pretty historic here in Lauderdale County. So I know that's going to be talked about a good bit here in the community. Rita Jack and Stella McMahon. So I think that's going to be a pretty interesting campaign going ahead between those 2. So.
All right, so that's it. If you have any comments about that or anything else, you give us a call. Our number here is 601-485-9191. Big national news is Hurricane Adelia. Is that how you do it?
Sounds good.
Adelia?
Tomato.
Going ashore there in what I've always called the armpit of Florida, which is kind of right there. They call it the Big Bend. But, I love Florida, don't get me wrong. That's my home state. But that's what I've always referred to it as. Fortunately, it's not the heavily populated part of Florida. But if you go down to see reports along the coastline there, Newport Richey, Tarpon Springs, Clearwater, the water's not that clear, really. There's some kind of murky seawater coming on board on shore there.
It looks like it's made landfall, I believe, just a few minutes ago. Of course, it got strengthened up to a Category 4 as a borderline 3-4, and now they've downgraded it back to a 3 as of this morning. But yeah, the storm surge right now, I think, is the biggest concern. Fox News is covering it pretty extensively over our shoulder over here, but. They've got they have one reporter down there in Clearwater, and the water is up to his knees and above.
Yeah.
So, but it's the storm surge, I think, is the biggest concern. Of course, they're going to have a ton of power outages. And Governor DeSantis was doing his briefing earlier this morning. And guys, he is so. It's a well-oiled machine with the governor down there in Florida with these storms. He's not over dramatic. He's to the point. He's precise on everything he says. He doesn't panic. He does a great job. And the one thing he said, don't be dumb.
Don't be a dumb bunny.
Don't put yourself in danger. He said, don't be dumb. And I was like, that was the best line of the morning. Don't be dumb. And I was like, wow. And then one of the people in the audience from the media asked him the question. He opened it up for just a few questions and asked, President Trump is a resident of Florida. Have you consulted with him? He's like, we're not worried about that. We're worried about the people in the path of the storm, trying to turn it into politics. And he kept his eye on the ball, kept it on the folks that are in the path of the storm.
And it's interesting because I think DeSantis is in his element in this sort of environment. When you stand up and make a speech, he's not that strong, and that's shown on the campaign trail. But put him in a situation where he needs to react and where he needs to make decisions quickly, and he is really in his element. So this may actually boost his poll numbers, inadvertently, and certainly we don't want anything like this to happen that would it's an unfortunate situation that's doing that, but it may be a benefit for him.
Yeah, they got the storm surge numbers up there. Cedar Key at almost 7 feet storm surge right now in that area. So and they were predicting a little bit more where the eye is 16 feet in some areas. And a lot of these areas are very rural. There in the Bend of Florida, so
the armpit, as Roger likes to call it.
Yes. So, a lot of residents in Florida are dealing with the storm, and think about it is once it gets on shore completely. Georgia. They're not out of the danger of this because it's still probably going to be at least a Cat 1 or 2 by the time it gets into Georgia. So it's going to be a big soaker and power outages. We all know the boxes to check on a storm like this of how intense it's going to be. So we're thinking about our friends down in Florida this morning.
That's exactly right. In fact, before coming to the studio, I called my brother in Polk County, and today's his birthday.
Happy birthday!
And I said to David, happy birthday, David. I said, didn't know what to get you, so I sent you a hurricane.
There you go.
Oh, it's from you.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow, I'm staying on Roger's good side.
But he's in the central part of the state, and of course that's where people along the coastline evacuate too. So he's in very good shape. No problem there. I did get a picture from my son down in Big Pine Key. This is back when the storm was coming up, just west of the Keys. And, of course, the water level was right at the top of his little seawall there out beside his house. And it's like, okay, hopefully no more. And they're having their high tide in just about an hour or so there. He said the full moon is not really helping the situation.
No.
Evidently that affects the tides a little bit. But there we go. But
oh, you think?
Yeah,
I had no idea. No idea.
So checking on all my Florida family. I know you have Florida family.
Yeah. Wife's grandmother lives right there in Tallahassee, on the outskirts, and of course. Got neighbors checking on her, and we've got some family in Georgia too. So everybody's kind of batting down the hatches right now, getting ready. And this is stuff they've dealt with before, but you always have to be prepared. And it's amazing how quickly the storm intensified. That shows you how hot the water's been, or warm rather, down there in the Gulf. Because it was just barely a Category 1, and all of a sudden it just shoots right on up because that's how warm the water is in the Gulf right now. So, but So I guess first major hurricane we've dealt with in the season.
It's the first one to hit
What about,
the United States.
the one in California?
That was a tropical storm.
Hillary.
Hillary was a storm.
Yes, it was storm. It's gone away now. Thank goodness.
Yes, it is.
That storm has disappeared.
All the different jobs we do. I decided what I would like to train for, actually, before I go into the polling booth and become the poll worker. Okay. I would like to learn sign language because I'd like to be the signer for the governor when he gives the hurricane preparedness speech. The one who stands and does the signing and be able to talk with their hands.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of neat.
I know a couple gestures, but well, one really. But
no, we would try to use real words.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Not. I know a gesture is worth 1,000 words, or at least
sometimes it can be. Yeah.
So anyway, but that'd be kind of cool.
So
they always
before
have
your
that person.
before your pole dancing career.
Pole dancing.
What are we doing? What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Oh, boy.
Show them some of those moves I showed you there.
Oh, please don't.
601-485-9191 is our talk line here at Mornings in Meridian. Let's take phone calls. Good morning. Welcome to our show. Good morning.
Hello.
So glad to have you here. All right.
Glad to be here.
Oh, here we go. We got you loud and clear. Good morning.
Good morning.
We know
Wait
that
a
voice.
minute.
Wait, hang on.
Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Stella!
Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
Doing great.
We're doing fine. And, of course, congratulations to you on your primary victory, your runoff victory last night.
Thank you so very much. I woke up this morning thankful and overwhelmed all at the same time.
All right, now it's time to start another campaign. Let's go.
Right.
I'm
Get
taking
back
a
to work.
little bit of a break.
There we go.
Don't go to Florida.
Don't go to Florida. Yeah. Don't go to Florida right now.
So how?
Yeah, I'm not going to go to Florida.
We didn't see you at the courthouse. So where were you when you were watching the results come in?
I was at the funeral home.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, okay. Where a better place to celebrate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did the last time too. I just had, we just had a little bit of food and
a casket,
come and stay or
a
come and
casket
go.
full of ice and some, drinks. And,
Gosh.
I'm just saying, that's a creative way to have.
Buffet. Open it up.
Oh, good Lord.
Canapé.
I need to look at getting me a casket for that.
Oh man.
Jeez.
It's we're just I believe I want to thank you and the other candidates that have just really made the coroner's office the highlight of this year, and we're going to keep it going. I mean, we're just going to continue to have fun with this whole idea of somebody who deals with death all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I mean, it's definitely been, and I'm sure the other candidates would say the same. It's been very humbling. I guess is a word, but exciting too to be a part of such a big election season. With a new coroner, a new sheriff, and the new supervisor, and justice court judge. I mean, my goodness, there were so many big changes. That it was exciting to be a part of it, and I thank all the candidates too, all 4 of them. We all kind of stayed above the grain, and nobody slung any mud. Nobody did. We were all nice to each other every time we ran into each other, and I really feel like I've made friends with them. Like genuine friends. So.
Well, that's good. So, did you hear from your opponents on your victory?
I did.
Yeah.
They did message me and congratulate me, and so I thought that was very, very nice.
Very good. Well, tell us, you said you're going to take a little break now. Of course, we're talking with Stella McMahon, who is the Republican candidate officially now for the Republican Party in the November election. So you got a little time between now and November. So you said you want to take a little break, are you?
Just a little break, just to kind of regroup and rejuvenate, because this has been exhausting, and as exciting as it is, it was mostly exhausting. So yeah, I'm just going to take some time and hang out with my children, and just try to enjoy some downtime before I have to get back at it.
All right. What about your bosses? Are they going to let you kind of take a little break?
I'm sure they would. Yeah.
I mean, when you were at the funeral home watching the results, they weren't saying, "Hey, listen, we've got a family coming in. We want you to talk with them." And
No.
Okay, good.
They, my boss Joe too. He has been so so accommodating and gracious to let me use the funeral home and to have all those people come in there and just kind of hang out.
You tell Joe too. I think he's a great guy, no matter what people are saying around town.
I will tell him that first thing this morning.
That's right. You tell him Roger B. said that.
That's right. And I would also like to take the opportunity to thank the voters. I mean, I couldn't have done it without their support, without them talking to people or, going to the polls again. I know it was, that was my biggest concern in the runoff was people just being like, oh, well, Stella's got this or Kenny's got this and not showing up. But,
well, I thought the turnout, we thought it was going to be probably, what do we say, guys, 10% or lower? I mean, it ended up being 14%. I mean, I know it's still not a great number, but a little bit better than we thought.
Better than what we thought. Yeah. That's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been that person sitting at my house at, 6 o'clock or 6:30 going, oh, they got it. I'm not going back. I forgot or whatever. I will never do that again.
There you go.
I will vote
you are an engaged citizen now.
Yeah.
What?
I've always voted, but that runoff stuff, you just feel like, well, if they got this, it's never a good excuse. But
what? Any surprises throughout this campaign? I mean, what was your feeling when you saw the numbers coming in when they started coming in your favor?
I still was just like, until they're all in, I'm not getting excited. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Some of my friends and family were excited, but I was like, y'all, hold on. There's only 18 boxes in. Don't get excited yet. But when it finally came in, the results of all the boxes, I was kind of stunned.
That's great. Yeah, that's you went out there and you worked hard and to come out victorious. It's got to feel good, but it also probably has mixed emotions knowing that it ain't over.
No,
that's exactly right. It ain't over. One more hurdle, and then we can say we're done.
There you go. Well, Stella McMahon, again, congratulations from all of us. Guys, any questions for her?
No, I think it's been, like I said, I have to agree. It was a great campaign. We've got great candidates, and I thought you and Kenny ran a good race down the home stretch here, and we wish you the best in November. So.
Well, thank y'all so much. And I'll be talking to you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
well done.
That's before you go. That's important. Should you win this office, we have not had good corner visits here in the studio. We
want a weekly report.
We're gonna have a segment on the show. We'll call it Stella's Corner.
Corner.
Yeah, something like that.
We can do that.
All right.
There we go.
Hey, we continue to wish you the best and congratulations once again.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great day.
All right,
Thanks, Stella.
All right, Stella McMahon checking in. Stella! I wonder if she's going to get that a lot. It's that movie. It's that.
She's probably got
Streetcar
it.
Named Desire.
Streetcar Named Desire. That's exactly
She's
right.
got it.
Let's take a phone call here at 6:00. See, she's so special. We just blew through Fox News. That's just there you go.
Hurricane cover. That's what they're doing.
Whatever. We know what's going on.
Hurricane and presidential
Made
campaign.
landfall.
There we go.
Rain, rising water, Florida. That's it. Okay. Mornings in Meridian. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Rob, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want the coroner visiting my studio.
That's a good point.
As long as I'm able to talk to her, that's all right.
That's right.
That's a good sign.
Well, I tell you what now. No, I congratulate her. She did a great job, but like you say, got one more hurdle to go.
Yeah.
But
And
interesting race.
And we will have both candidates on our station as we get closer to the November decision. So
we're going to take a break from that, and we'll start lining those visits up because it's going to be an interesting process in November. So,
absolutely. Well, I just when you said you wanted more visits of the coroner, I just had to call in.
That's a good observation. Now you. Out your way, where's your voting precinct?
Meehan. Volunteer Fire Department.
yes, sir.
There you go. All right.
Rob knows where that is.
Exactly. I was there yesterday. I was number 61.
I was number 26.
Look at you.
And I tell you, I had to wake old Sonny up to show me where to put the ballot in.
Is Sonny working the polls?
I'm going to tell you what.
He's been there forever.
He has, and I love seeing him. He's a fine fella. He and both are just good.
I was
folks.
good. I was good to see Miss Allie there yesterday. She was the first person you saw when you walked in. And when I was the only person voting yesterday at 2:30, and they were like, this is going to be the toughest thing you're going to do all day. I said, I've been stressing over this all day long. Got the ballot, and there it was. I was like, man, I'm going to be here forever.
One little circle.
Yeah.
Well, they were talking about how many they anticipated, and you were number 61, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Wow, I think they had more voters than they had anticipated. Even I think Donna Jill had estimated a number, but
it ended up being, Jimmy, it was 14.42% of the.
That's pitiful.
Yeah,
but of course I was addressing the Meehan. Precinct.
Yeah.
I'm glad they exceeded my expectations though, because I just didn't think they were going to come out, but they did.
Yeah.
The voters, that is.
One quick question, and I'll leave.
Well, I got
you guys
one for
alone.
you. I got one for you too before you go. So ask yours first.
One quick question.
Yeah.
Any movement on any changes on the election concerning the school bonding?
Come
That's the
on.
question I was going to ask you. Do you know where you're supposed to vote for that bond issue?
No.
And nobody does.
Other than
right?
Clarkdale.
Okay, that's it.
That's
if you're in
probably where
District 5, that's where you need to
I'm
go.
going to have to drive 21 miles.
Yep.
As opposed to then, Roger, you shouldn't have gotten me cranked up. On
No, you were talking about you knew where to vote. I asked you.
I'm supposed to crank you up. You ain't supposed to crank me up.
Well, 21 miles is it?
So 21 there and then
as
21 back.
opposed to, 5 miles?
Yeah.
What kind of car do you drive?
A Vomit. That's a cross between the Comet and the Volkswagen. Got bucket seats to throw up top.
Got to throw up top. Well, I'm guessing, let's just say you get 20 miles a gallon. Let's say on average 20 miles a gallon. So you're going to go 2 gallons of gas. That's going to be about $7 to go vote.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going to be there, though.
Unless you
I hope
carpool. Maybe ride with Rob or something.
Yeah, well, we'll pick you up and go.
Hey, that's a great idea. We need to run a Meehan, Chunky. Well, of course, Chunky's in Newton County, but I'm in Lauderdale County. We could run a Meehan
Get the transit
Savoy
system. Yeah.
transit bus to pick up voters.
Well, you know what? We could let's say, okay, Lauderdale County Schools, if you want to limit the voting to just these then y'all supply the buses to get
There
the
you
voters
go.
out.
Well, they need to buy the buses
No.
with the bond issue.
they gotta buy the buses
So, I mean, that
first. Yeah.
can't happen, right?
You know they're not going to do that. You know why they're doing it this way.
Of course we know why.
I think I do, but I want to hear what you say.
Yeah, Put me on the spot. You're the one on the radio. You're the one
No,
that's
both
gonna-
of us are right now, brother. Yeah.
It's obvious. It's so obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is so obvious what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's
And it's a shame.
And I think that's overshadowing. I think the actual bond issue. I think a lot of people out there are more.
it is.
From people I am talking to, and I don't talk to everybody, but I mean the people that are expressing their opinions to me, they're very upset with the process.
Sure, and I think that a lot of people are for education and for this career technical education. But
Right.
it's the way that they're doing it.
The process. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll give my school board member credit. He did respond to me and contact.
Oops. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That was a missed call there.
Oh, okay. Well,
Your school
I'll
board-
get
your
out of the
school
way
board-
Where you can,
Who's the school board member in our district, Jimmy?
Dusty
Dusty is? Okay, good. So he voted.
for it
Okay.
for the current situation. Oh, Wilson's the only one that voted against it. My understanding.
Okay.
And
Well, that would be good. Yeah. Maybe talk to some of the school board members.
Be
well,
good.
he responded, and we had a good conversation. You know.
But he did talk to you. Yeah. Okay. Good deal.
Yeah, he said they were going under the advice of the bond attorney, and I told him, well, he's got a vested interest in this thing. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here before I get in trouble.
Let me translate.
Oh, you already in
Let
trouble.
me translate what the bond attorney said. The best way for me to get my commission.
Yeah.
This is the safest way for me to get my commission. All right, 601-485-919. We're going to take a break sooner or later, but we're going to take this phone call next. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, guys.
Well.
I hope y'all are doing well this morning.
Hello, sir.
This sounds like the man who brought some biscuits by the studio
he's
yesterday.
The biscuit man.
He's a biscuit man.
Biscuit man.
Well, you told me if I bring food, you let me in.
And we did. We did. That's exactly right.
Well, all I know is we know what to expect on November 7th, don't we?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You do it once, it's a one-time thing. You do it twice, it starts a new tradition.
There you go.
There we go.
Justin J.J. Anders checking in here. Of course, he is going to be the Republican candidate for Supervisor District 1.
Well, yes, sir. It appears that way, and I just want to thank, first and foremost, my wife and kids and my parents and my outlaws. Without my family, I couldn't have done this, and all the people that got out and voted yesterday. Thank you for taking the time, making the effort. It is truly a humbling experience. When you go in there,
You think it's humbling now. Wait till they start calling you at home.
No, last night I have probably about 75 culvert requests and trees cut down. And I'm like, whoa, boys! We've got another ball game. We got the finals in November.
JJ, the first thing I want you to do when you get in office, you come down to my driveway and you just see what them log trucks been doing.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, and a buddy of mine called me last night. He was like, I got trees. I'm like, well, look, if it's affecting the roadbed, Mr. Mayat and his crew will look at that. But if it doesn't affect the roadbed, not much I can do. But hey, I know some great tree guys.
Or call your current supervisor.
Yeah, there you go.
I think Jonathan's giving them my number.
Okay. So he's forwarding all the calls over. I see how this
smart.
works. Yeah.
It's automatically.
And I do want to thank Jonathan Wells and all
Forwarding
the
his
current
call.
supervisors and Chris Lafferty, the county administrator. They have all been welcoming. They have all been helpful throughout this process as far as answering questions, giving insight and that kind of stuff. And also, I want to thank Chris.
Yes.
Bullock ran a great race. He's a fine young man with a very bright future ahead of him. He needs to keep his head held up high. He has nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I was going to say that. We talked about Chris earlier, and I thought him and Kenneth Graham.
Devin.
Yeah, and Devin too. Just great folks in all these races, and I thought District 1 was one of our favorites to cover because just three good quality candidates.
Sure, and we got
Good
biscuits
folks.
too. And
Yeah, we got biscuits too.
Biscuits
So
from the district.
Well, again, both of those guys ran great races.
Yeah.
They're good people in their own right. They're successful, and they all have bright futures ahead of them. I just hope they choose to run for something else besides District 1 again.
That's a good answer.
Fair enough.
But, again, guys, you guys here, y'all have been nothing but nice and welcoming. The forums, the interviews, you guys, I just can't thank you enough for trying to educate the voters. There was no gotchas. There was no ticky-tacks. It was just honest questions and that people wanted to know about. And I just want to thank you guys for the job y'all do in our area, supporting our area and with knowledge, and that's what any of us can do.
We ain't done yet.
Just getting started.
We got the finals coming up in November.
Yeah, or as I like to call it, Game 7's coming up.
Yes,
So.
yes, sir. Yes, it's like I tell my boys, we're in tournament play, and so the 8th was the first round, and this is semifinals, and then we go. So now hopefully we can rest our pitching and for a few days and get back after it middle of September and get out there and ask for everybody's vote and trust to and me to hopefully do the job and be their representative they want me to be.
Well, evidently we were too easy on you, so come back through and we'll kind of
We'll get the gotcha question.
We'll get the gotcha.
yeah, we're saving the gotcha questions for November.
Okay.
Been forewarned.
Yeah.
Hey, you better step it up. Bring filet next time.
Filet.
Well, if there was just a restaurant downtown that started serving breakfast, I know they do a great brunch on Sundays.
Yeah.
If they just started serving breakfast, we could work something out.
Well, I couldn't be here if we were doing breakfast.
Yeah,
That
there
would
you go.
make
Well, that's
sense.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
We want you there because you do a great job, Charles.
Well, I appreciate it.
But no, guys, thank you. Seriously, thank you, guys. And it's like I've told you off the air, and I'll tell you again on there. You got my number. I'm a phone call away.
Hey, sounds
Fantastic.
good. All right, Justin J.J. Anders, thanks for checking in with us. And once again, from WALT, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You too. Thanks, JJ.
It's Mornings in Meridian. We're getting the calls coming in. We've heard from a couple of candidates, and we've heard from the two victors. How's that?
Yeah, and like I said, District 1, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, it was one of my favorite races to cover on the Republican side, just getting to know these three guys and And he's talked about making friends. We've made friends with all these guys, and they're just good quality folks. I think Devin's got a good future ahead of him. So does Chris Bullock, and I think it was a good learning process when you put yourself out there for the first time running for an office. I've never done it before. I never want to do it, but I tip my cap to them for throwing their name out there. So.
And the irony is when you compare that to our national campaigns,
it's unreal.
you think, is this the best we've got?
Yeah.
And then you think, okay, we've actually got some good local candidates.
Yeah.
And, so that's
let me
kind of
put it
inspiring.
Let me put it to you this way. All the candidates we've been talking about, winners and losers, they would be better presidents of the United States right now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Put that in perspective. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
All right. How you doing?
Hey there, Mr. Chick. Come on in.
I'm well. I'm well. First, let me congratulate.
Chick would be a better president than what we have right now.
By
Oh,
far.
you guys are too kind. But let me just congratulate everyone who participated as far as being a candidate for, the respective races. But, I just want to piggyback off what that gentleman just said, who got off, whom I have much, much respect for. There were, because there are always preconceived notions about things, and from having been in that studio several times with different occasions, there were no gotcha moments. I know you guys do a lot of cheek and tongue. You have a show to do in the morning times, and there's a serious part about what you guys do. But as far as being hospitable and fair to your guests and your callers, man, you just would desire that this is the way it would be with all of talk radio. And I think that the public would be more receptive. You would have liberal thinkers like myself sometime and conservative thinkers who could find a happy medium. And, we could all really be in the game to try to make the game better, as opposed to ostracize and then just, pushing this one to that side or that side. We could keep it in the middle of the road. So to you three guys up there, I'm going to tell you something. You guys deserve, I don't know what kind of award they have over in Jackson relative to talk radio broadcasting, but and I listen to talk shows all over the land, and for a local talk show, the scope, what you guys do every morning, and the way it's kind of addictive now. I'll admit there was a station that I was listening to in the morning time, but here of late, I've been somewhat addicted to.
I didn't know there were other radio stations, Chick. I'm glad. I didn't know there's anything else going on in the morning.
Well, look, I remember that was a radio station who ran a drop back. We used to call them drops back in the day.
Yeah.
You guys ain't been around long enough to remember that. But they said with all the other number one stations in town, we must be number two. So that.
That's it.
But look,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, because when
Yeah.
JJ was speaking, I thought, he's telling the truth. There were no gotcha moments. There was no attempts to divulge anything that was not willingly on the part of those whom you were interviewing to make public knowledge of. And now you all sought after information, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there was no gotcha moments, and man, that just.
And I'll say this. I'll say this too about the election coverage. I was watching Rob last night as he was. There was a lot of things that maybe he could have been tempted to get out there and call the race or give a projection, but. Rob was just waiting for the actual facts to come in from Donna Gill's office, and then that's what he reported on the radio, and that's a right way to do things.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, that guy that you call Rob, man, I got nothing but mad love and respect for him. He knows.
All right, let's
that,
not get too syrupy now. Let's just let's not carry it on too far there.
That's my guy there. That's
there
my
you
guy.
go.
But look, I just wanted to put that out there.
Hey, glad you did, and we welcome your comments here on the show. You have an observation out there, you be sure and call us.
Hey, look, I'm going to do what PT did. I'm going to do a cameo on you guys one morning. I'm just going to drop in, and when you're there, solo Rob, one of you guys, and I'm just going to invite myself. I'm not going to bring in the biscuits now. I can't do it.
Oh,
okay. Well,
lock the door.
Hey, good luck getting through the door, Chick.
Right. We got security for that.
Yeah, without those biscuits, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, have a great day. Thanks.
Hey,
thanks, my
thank
friend.
you. Appreciate that. 601-485-9191. Another caller here on the air. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Well, thank you for calling us, gentlemen. First of all, welcome, Sheriff
I
Solly.
think it's a bit stretch.
It appears to me that J.J. Anders has made a critical mistake, sir.
Uh-oh.
It's the biscuits.
He has made a critical mistake.
Oh.
He should have called me early on in his campaign.
Okay. All right.
Because this is not the exact date, but about 15 years ago, I made the mistake of bringing y'all biscuits, and what's happened every month since then.
Well, Sheriff, you got in the door for 15 years. That's one thing that happened.
Hey, you haven't gotten mine yet. Let me open my door for you.
No, that's he did. He came in, brought on the feed yesterday, but that's we like to joke about that. But we appreciate the fact that elected officials come in and tell us what's going on and keep our listeners informed.
Yeah, sure. It's very critical for the public to have the correct information and not Facebook rumor mill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's what we work at here at WALT. And even though we're on Facebook now, we are on Facebook, aren't we, John?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Only when Rob's there.
Yeah, only when I'm here.
You got that
Yeah,
right.
fair enough,
I'm
right.
not going to learn how to do it.
Nope, don't want to know.
He's got buttons over there. I ain't going to be pushing. Anyway, but hey, but Sheriff, of course, your take on the election so far in the now we passed all the primaries and the runoffs.
Well, as Stella said, this is a historical year. 4 years ago there was no one opposed, and this year with the retirements of Clayton and myself, the two countywide elections made you guys very wealthy this year.
Now you just hold the phone there.
Who?
Not me. Yeah.
You guys.
When we get a chance,
Not me.
Is that your new Beamer out there?
I thought that was yours.
No, not mine.
Yeah,
I thought it had the initials RB on it.
RB is
Who
on
would
that
be? Roger,
2003 expedition out
Oh,
there
okay.
with 180,000 miles.
All right, quit bragging.
Yeah.
Quit bragging. Anyway, that is, but just keep in mind that if there is any windfall at all that comes from the campaign advertising, that is only once every 4 years.
It's a biscuit windfall.
It's a biscuit.
Yeah.
There's biscuits to land on.
You there, Sheriff?
I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Okay, good deal. Anyhow.
Tomorrow's going to be a sad day here at the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. The Department of Public Safety over in Jackson, they have modified their process for hiring their investigators. Historically, they've taken troopers off the highway and promoted them. And this year, they decided to start attracting investigators with experience from local departments around the state, both municipal and county offices. And tomorrow we'll be losing 2 deputies. And just want to wish them the best.
Mercy.
Carl Clark and John Calhoun will be leaving us officially tomorrow night at midnight.
Well,
They're poaching from you.
That is
sound
sad.
right.
Now, in the case of John Calhoun, I guess we kind of understand why we kind of knew he was going to be taking a job elsewhere.
Right. Unfortunately, if Ward is successful in November and winning the election, because of the state's nepotism law, the 25 years of knowledge and experience that John Calhoun has, he couldn't bring it forward. So he had to seek employment elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, I hope you find good replacements for them, at least maybe as good as you can. But I know you hate to lose. How many years combined experience are walking out the door?
About 35 years.
Oh, mercy! That's big.
Yep. John's got his undergraduate degree, and Carl's got her master's. So not only is it years of experience, but also knowledge in the classroom.
I got a couple hours each day. You want me to come be an investigator?
No.
You know.
I noticed the hesitation there with the sheriff. I mean,
I've offered
thought
my
about that.
I've offered my
mulled
services
it
to the
over.
sheriff's department year after year, but I keep getting turned away. I don't know.
Thanks, but no.
Thanks, but
No.
don't call us.
Yeah.
We'll call you.
Yeah, just be a
There you go.
answer.
I've got your number.
I know you do. Yes, you do, Sheriff. You've got my number. All
Plate
right.
number and everything.
Anything else, sir, while we have you on the line?
No, sir. Just everybody, this is a holiday weekend. It's a big weekend, the end of the summer. Please don't drink and drive. And what do we always tell everybody, Roger?
Fasten your seatbelt, or you'll
Buckle
click it
up.
or ticket.
There you go. Click your ticket.
Why did he call me out on that?
Did
I
you
wonder
get-
why.
How many tickets have you had
so
for
much
not?
knowledge and experience? We was talking about that knowledge and experience a while ago.
Yeah. At least your deputy that pulled me over wasn't like the one in Okaloosa County, Florida. I waved at him to be nice, and he was nice, all right.
did you have an open hand or just partial open hand?
No, it was a cordial wave because he was parked at the corner and I was turning and I just kind of gave him a nice little wave. How you doing? And
all 5 fingers extended.
All 5 fingers.
4 fingers and a thumb, not
and,
just several or 1 finger.
He made this observation that there wasn't a strap over my shoulder, so he thought he'd come and talk to me.
Strap it on.
He figured that you were trying to distract his eyes away from your shoulder.
With his big
over
winning
here.
smile. Pay no attention to the lack of seatbelt.
I didn't even think about not having a seatbelt. Anyway, yes, I've learned my lesson. And now I have a vehicle that the alarm is so annoying that I have to put the seatbelt on. So maybe that's just a God thing.
There you go.
All right. Well,
Well,
sure.
you guys have a wonderful day, and it's been a great experience not being in Kansas this year for the first time in 28 years.
28 years.
Wow.
You know, maybe I know. You know, I predict you're going to have to run for something next time.
Never know, sir.
He's going to run for tickets for Stevie Nicks. That's what
Yeah, right.
All right. He's going to get a job of security for Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, exactly.
like the Taylor Swift
Okay.
guy. Yeah.
Twist my arm.
Ouch. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Sheriff, good to hear from you, friend.
You guys take care and look forward to seeing y'all next month.
All right. Stay safe.
Mornings in Meridian, you know, we've gone through this hour without paying any bills. We better get that done.
Yeah, might want to do
Keep
that.
the lights on.
We're going to be right back we might not be right back. Yeah, we'll be right back, finish up this hour. Stay tuned, folks, for more of Mornings in Meridian.
Hang on one second.
Oh, I know you're waiting for the black tie.
Black tie.
It's ZZ Top. Yeah, it's a familiar one. They're crazy about a sharp-dressed man. About a sharp-dressed man. How you like my Oshkosh Bagosh coveralls, what lady?
Oshkosh bagosh.
That's sharp.
right.
That is sharp, I tell you.
Mornings in
Were those
Meridian.
guys really sharp dressed though?
Had nice beards.
They weren't groomed very well. Yeah. Oh well.
I always suspect one time, because the four guys passed me on motorcycles one time. I was coming down Interstate 59, and their beards were blowing back over their shoulders. And I swear I think it must have been ZZ Top.
It was
on a
easy
motorcycle.
top, yeah.
Anyway, mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there. And by the way, folks, there was a mention about breakfast, a restaurant that serves breakfast. There is a restaurant that serves breakfast, lunch, dinner. In fact, they serve food all around the clock.
24/7. Yes, they do. The Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City Truck Stop, conveniently located at exit 150. We all know where it is. Wednesday, of course, they got chicken and dumplings.
Ooh.
Man, that sounds good. Fried or grilled pork chops, chicken tenders, and fried chicken. That's my favorite. And they always have the veggie plates there. And if you want breakfast, they've got the long haul breakfast. If you're a long haul truck driver, that thing will keep you going for days. Weeks even.
Wow.
Well, maybe not that long, but it certainly is a lot of food, and that will keep you, as I said, going all day long. And, of course, they got the Biggie Burger, Rob's favorite.
Yeah.
How big is it?
It's huge.
Huge. Go see him. The air is cold. The coffee's hot. The service is friendly. Exit 150. Go see him. You can get something to go as well. Just give him a call, 601-482-0259. That is the Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City Truck Stop.
I like that. The air is cold and the coffee's hot.
And the burgers are huge.
Huge.
Donald Trump endorsing Magnolia Restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
Hey,
man.
we're going to
Eats
be
there
back.
all the time.
We'll be back. Stay tuned for this Fox News break. Roger, Rob, and Charles, we're having more fun than anybody. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. It is the second hour of the two best hours of local live talk radio here in East Mississippi, West Alabama. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we missed you last hour. Glad you're here now. Who are we? I'm Roger B. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
Hey, good morning, folks.
And say good morning to Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
Yes, indeed. Good to have you folks aboard here today with us. And post-primary runoff, election night. If you saw the pizzas being brought into the courthouse last night, that was just Rob ordering something.
Peaches?
Pizzas.
Oh, pizzas.
Pizzas.
Okay, I thought peaches.
Peaches sound pretty good.
Well, how about peaches on pizza?
Pizza, no, and not even pineapple or no fruit should go on a pizza.
No pineapple even?
Maybe tomato.
I'll take one of those peach milkshakes.
Hey, there you go. All right.
With a biscuit, maybe? JJ, listening? JJ.
All
JJ.
right.
Just
I
think
like
on-
it. Oh, God.
Top local story, of course, is the end of the runoff, and that is
Yep.
with the victors Justin J.J. Anderson as the candidate in the Republican Party for the Supervisor District 1, and Stella McMahon. Stella McMahon going to the November election as the primary candidate.
Yeah, the numbers.
As a Republican candidate.
Yeah, final tally. Stella McMahon had 3,346 to Kenneth Graham's 2,593. That's 56% to 43. Well, about 44. And then the supervisor's race there in District 1 for the Republicans, Justin J.J. Anders, 1,509 to Chris Bullock's 879. That was 63% to around 37%. Once again, the turnout for the runoff, 41,298 registered voters in the county. We had 5,957 votes cast. That includes absentees, 14.42%. So there you go.
And thanks to Rob Atkinson for being out there last night at the courthouse, bringing in the latest election results as they came in. So thanks for doing that, sir.
Absolutely. We
That
had a
was
lot of fun in step 2. And now step 3.
step
November.
3, November, once again.
Well, we're not done yet because we've got school bond vote.
Mr. Bond.
So we can't get to November yet because we got this other vote coming up on October 3rd.
That'll be the next time that voters come out. And, you know, is in any election or bond vote, participation is essential. I was actually I know we're tempted to say the 14% of the registered voters that came out last night or yesterday. That's so bad. It's better than I expected. I commend Lauderdale County for, folks, at least the 14% of you that joined us in going to the polls did so, and so thank you for doing that. That's what the process is all about.
I said yesterday I thought it was going to be 10% or lower, and it exceeded my expectations a little bit. So.
Although you've got to look at the numbers being skewed because it was probably 10% or lower
District 1,
in everything but District 1.
District 1 was the
so
driver.
That raised it up a little bit.
Yeah, that was the
of course,
attractor.
Yeah.
Right, with JJ and Chris Bullock running.
So the attractor on October 3 will be the bond issue, and
the bond.
Some comments coming in about that, by the way. We were talking about, there's been questions about the bond issue. Why not the November ballot? Why are they having the special election? Why not the normal polling places? It's going to be at one of four schools where you go to vote. And one of our listeners who calls in from time to time, Scott Gray, he was out there. He says they're doing it, talking about the October 3 the October 3 vote. He says they're doing it in order to sell the bond this year. It says if they wait till November for the election, they will not be able to sell the bonds in this calendar year, and that raises the interest rate by 3 points.
Oh, okay.
So
that's
there's a little bit of information.
And was
coming
that
in.
information given out with Dr. Kane the other day, or I don't know if
I don't believe it was.
I can't remember that
I don't
conversation.
think. I don't
That's
think
important.
it was.
So it actually
But might
saved
be.
money by doing it this way.
Well,
Although there is the cost of the special election, but ultimately it would probably save money if you're going to. I mean, you have to run the numbers on that, but I bet it would.
If you're going to have the $12.5 million, 3% difference on the bond would be significant.
Sure. And, I think that we need to look at this and say, okay, what are the merits of it? And, then also factor in why they're doing it this way. And I don't, a lot of that is supposition anyway as to why they're doing it this way, but I think that it's fairly clear that it seems to be that they're looking for lower voter turnout and that sort of thing. But what's the benefit for the community? And the benefit for the community could be huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So, we need to balance it. I think we need a lot more information. I think we need to have Rob back on and talking about the programs and also Dr. Kane and revisiting it before we actually go to the polls.
We're going to be doing that. We're going to be putting out information on this station about, there's nothing changes the fact, however, and this is what a lot of people are upset with. I guess I said last hour that maybe a lot of people are mostly upset about the process, but that is really secondary to a lot of the reasons that are given out there, and the primary reason probably is the fact that you're getting. If you own property in the county, you get a tax increase of 3.15 mils.
Well, I mean, I've talked to folks about this, just from different backgrounds in the community about the bond issue, and I think that a lot of folks agree the process is what bothers them a little bit. Some folks are saying, "Well, I heard you guys read the language of what the bond says." Which I know there may be some adjustments to that potentially. We'll cover that one in due time. But a lot of folks, I'm just not going to drive all the way across the county to vote. You heard Jimmy say this morning, 21-mile drive
to vote,
to drive across the county. And that's about how long it would be for me to drive to Clarkdale to go vote as well. That's the school district I live in.
Yeah.
And for other folks, it could be longer. For that one vote, you have to be really passionate about going to the poll and vote on this particular issue, because this is simple yes or no.
You have the same mentality of those who went out and voted yesterday.
Sure.
It's your civic duty.
Yeah.
You're not in District 1, so you don't have a supervisor involved, but because there is the coroner race, you still got out and voted.
Now, am I going to go vote? You darn right I'm going to go vote, because every time a poll's open, if I'm available to go vote, I'm going to do it. Absentee process, how is that going to work? That's been a big question. A lot of folks have been asking me. Of course, we'll cover all of that in due time with Donna Jill, because she was trying to get past yesterday, obviously, and she hasn't even got the ballots yet, because there's still some of that process they got to get finished up. So still a lot of unanswered questions on that end of things about absentee voting, and it's just such a murky situation, I think. So that's just the feeling I'm getting out there from some folks.
Well, and again, as we like to do here on the show, we like to get all the facts from all the sides out there. We're going to continue to try to do that. Just each one of you, whichever side you're on, don't be upset if people don't agree with you. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey,
Morning.
Morning, fine. How are you? Good to have you here.
All we got to do is wait for Trump to get back in office. We might not even need that bond issue.
What do you mean by that? Wait till Trump gets back in office. We may not need the bond issue.
We'll have so much money. Get rid of them crooks up there.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. A little bit of, I hear what you're saying. Yes, sir.
The economy will get better, a lot better.
Are you going to get one of those Trump T-shirts that has the?
I'm trying to get somebody to order it for me right now. I'm too dumb to order it myself.
You can't order online, huh?
No.
Yeah, I know that's
probably a good thing I can't.
I'm part of. You know what? That is the problem. It's bad when you stop ordering and the UPS guy starts asking, "Hey, how come you're not ordering anything?"
Yeah, right. Everything okay?
Is everything
What's
okay?
going on?
Is everybody still alive in your house?
We need to call the coroner.
Got us a new coroner.
Yeah. Well, at least a candidate. The decision will be made in November.
Yeah, my wife got blood all over the polling place yesterday. She fell down the door, ripped the artery open.
Are you serious?
Sprayed everything.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is she going to be okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well.
This old woman can't walk just like her old husband.
Oh, bless her heart. Well, I tell you what, just y'all be careful when you drive to the school and vote in October.
Oh, yeah.
Just be careful.
No, I can't. I'm in the city, but I'm trying to get all of my relatives to.
Oh, okay. You're in the city. I got you.
Yeah, I married this woman. She took me out of the county. That's been a mistake.
Boy, cross the border, the city limits.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm right down here in Machine Gun Alley.
Well, you are our Highway Village watcher, aren't you?
That's right.
Has it been kind of quiet lately, or you still got the fireworks?
We had a couple of minor shootings. We had one about 4 o'clock about 3 days ago in the morning.
See, that's the way times have just really changed. It used to be we'd wake up to the sawmill whistle. That's what went off, and you'd hear that, and everybody get up and go to work. Now it's the gunfire.
Mm-hmm. The other day we had one about 2 o'clock in the daytime, but it wasn't very, maybe 6 shots or something.
Just a pow, 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 pow. Okay. Yeah, that's just a. You know, I think what they're realizing is, ammunition is not cheap, and they're only firing 6 instead of 18.
I'll just steal it.
Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't.
Well, the other night about 8 o'clock, they must have had 3 or 4 guns going off at the same time. It sounded like machine gun there, sure enough.
Well, just stay safe over there in that area,
It's
sir.
75 shot. Well, they hadn't shot me yet. They shot the truck, my truck.
Yeah, your truck took a couple of rounds, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Had to pull the motor out and carry it to the scrapyard.
Do what?
Luckily, I missed my motor.
So you kept the motor and just took the. It sounds like the truck was all ready to go to the scrapyard to start with. I mean.
Well, it probably was. I ain't got no money and nothing good to ride in.
Yeah.
I got a good friend that keeps me going.
You know, speaking of scrap, if you take a motor out of a truck body and you take it to the scrapyard, how much money they pay you for that? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, I got $37 for the cab. I still got the frame and stuff. I'm gonna carry it just as soon as it goes up a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was you got that heavy iron there, the frame.
Yeah, they'll pay a little more for the iron part, but they don't pay much for the sheet metal part.
You're kind of like that Johnny Cash song in reverse. You're just you're getting rid of your car one piece at a time.
Yep.
Well, listen, good to hear from you, sir. Glad you're safe. Tell the missus to get well soon, and y'all be careful.
I'll do that.
All right.
Thank y'all. Have a good show.
Yes,
Thanks.
Boy. He's a gentleman who's listened to our show for many, many years and kind of gives us a report of the.
Yeah, it's risky going to vote, apparently.
Well,
Who knew?
Gotta watch
Risking life and limb.
Gotta watch your step. Well, you know, it's just. I hate it when things like that happen. You
Of
fall
course.
and my heart goes out. Now, we just want to thank our sponsors that make this show possible. Talking about having a good show, we couldn't stay on unless we had people putting money in the coffers to keep us the lights on and all the generators and the transmitters
Coffee.
working.
We got coffee back there, too.
And we have a coffee pot.
Yes, very important. People like Southern Business Supply.
Thank you, Billy Adam Calvert.
Yes, indeed. Locally family-owned and operated for 38 years with a friendly sales staff of over 124 years combined experience. You might say they know what they're doing. Really easy to use. I just go to their website, southernbusinesssupply.com. I'm already registered as a client, so all my stuff is populated. I pick what I want. Boom, boom, boom. It's there the next day. Better than Amazon. Saves me having to go down to one of those big box stores and wander around trying to find what I'm looking for, which I never can. So it's just, they make it simple over there at Southern Business Supply. You can always call them, 601-485-2447, or stop by their showroom, 5685 Dale Drive, right here in Marion. They're open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Buy local. Your money stays here.
I like it.
Yes, say no to the big box stores. Say yes to Southern Business Supply.
I did go to the Lauderdale County School website, guys, and they had mentioned when they were on the program, it's been, a couple of weeks back, about they would be releasing some information. They do have a notice of the bond election now posted on the Lauderdale County School website about district voting, and I've got all the precincts listed here of where folks will go vote. If you don't mind bearing with me, I'm going to read those real quick.
We've got time. Go ahead.
Okay, for West Lauderdale Elementary School, if you vote at these precincts, you will go to West Lauderdale Elementary. Bailey, Center Hill, Collinsville, Martin, and Sicalina. You will vote at West Lauderdale Elementary. Southeast Middle School, these precincts says 17, Causeyville, Odom, Vimville, Wynot, and Mount Gilead will vote at Southeast Middle School. Northeast Middle School, The Landing on 39, New Lauderdale, Daleville, East Lauderdale, Marion, Kewanee, Russell, and Tumsupa will vote at Northeast Middle. And finally, Clarkdale Attendance Center. If you vote at Pickard, Clarkdale, Meehan, South Nellyburg, or Zero, you will vote at the Clarkdale Attendance Center. So those are the precincts that they have listed on the Lauderdale County School website as far as the voting precincts of where you will go vote coming up on October the 3rd. So I know there's been a lot of questions about that. And, of course, there is the question, too, about, hey, if I live in the city, all those questions about what do you pay in as far as taxes go, look at your voter registration card on that too. As far as that goes, a lot of information there. So that's at least clears up some of that as far as the voting precincts are concerned. So.
All right.
So your regular voting place, that equals out to where you go.
I suspected I would be at Northeast, and when you said Russell, that put me up there. Okay, gotcha. All right, that's great information. Thanks for the school district putting that on the website, and we'll keep reminding people as we get closer to that.
It says the said polling places will be open from the hour of 7 a.m. until the hour of 7 p.m. on the day of the election. Said election shall be held and conducted as far as in the same manner as other elections are held in Lauderdale County in accordance with the laws of the state of Mississippi. All qualified electors of the Lauderdale County School District will be entitled to vote in said election. The bonds described in the foregoing proposition shall be issued if and only if at least 3/5 of those qualified electors who vote on said proposition in the election shall vote in favor of the issuance of bonds for the purpose set forth in the proposition. So like I said, there's a lot of information that the county school district has put on their website. So that is up there now. And they actually have the language of the bond up here as well. I'm just seeing that below this notice as well. And I think it's pretty much similar to what we have here on a hard copy here in the studio as well.
They eliminated purchasing school buses.
Yeah, the school bus part is eliminated, guys, because we got this copy a day or so ago. Yeah, the purchasing of school buses is not on the school's website. On this language right here. So, Charles, you got the language in front of what's on the website, if you don't mind reading that real quick.
Sure, yeah, okay. So, the updated one, we can read the old one too. It's very similar, though. Shall the Lauderdale County School District issue its bonds in the maximum principal amount of $12,500,000 to raise money for the purpose of paying the costs, including the cost of borrowing, of purchasing, erecting, repairing, equipping, and remodeling school buildings and related facilities, including a new career and technical education center, purchasing land therefore, performing site and paving work, and providing necessary water, light, heating, air conditioning, and sewerage facilities for such school buildings and related facilities.
And purchasing school buses on this original copy we have here is no longer in the language on the school's website. So that's the only subtraction that's been made from the language in the bond on the website.
And now that the circuit clerk's office is going to be a little bit, available since the election is over for the primary runoff, we may be able to get the actual ballot that you would see, and we'll have the actual, make sure we know that the language matches up on the actual ballot.
Sure. So, and I think, as I said before, whatever we think about the agenda of the school board, what's best for the kids and what's best for the county is kind of what we need to look at and kind of fight through all the other stuff around there and get to the bottom line and what is the best thing. And many voters may decide that that's not the best thing for them, and that's okay. But I think that we get so wrapped up in the process, the way that they're presenting this information, and then we immediately jump to this emotional response of saying, oh, no, I'm not going to vote for that. Well, wait a minute. Let's look at what's best for the children and for the future. So anyway, just something to kind of keep in mind. We've got a long time before this all plays out.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian, and we are just glad you're out there and hearing this information. Thanks for that update report there, Rob.
Yeah. So, we'll keep those polling locations handy here. So, if you missed all of those, we'll have those pretty handy here. And also, you can go to the Lauderdale County website. That website. This is a lot of information. Lauderdale.k12.ms.us. But if you just want to call us here, we'll take care of you. So,
all right, it's Mornings in Meridian. Thanks for listening out there, and we want to say a big thank you to two guys. Their name's Adam, and then the other guy's name Adam.
Now that they changed their names to Adam, did one of them called Adam, and I was like, you know what? I think we just call it A and A, and I'll change my name to Adam as well.
I think that's just the names their mother gave them.
Okay, so you think they got together and were like, we're both named Adam. Let's start a glass company.
There you go.
Okay, I bet that's
what
happened.
I'm glad, regardless of how it happened. I'm certainly glad they did.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we're all glad, and they've been the #1 glass replacement company here in town for 10 years running. They must be doing something right. Conveniently located at 217 22nd Avenue. Do you call it 22nd Avenue, or do you go with the Sela Ward?
I still go 22nd, but it is technically Sela Ward Park.
Okay. Just driving down on Sela. Okay. 693 Glass is their number. Of course, that's easy to remember. Go see them 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. A&A Glass. They will beat any price in town. They work with the insurance company. They are fast, friendly, and they got great T-shirts. A&A Glass, 217 22nd Avenue, 601-693 Glass.
All right. Yeah, I do like their T-shirts. Hopefully they still got them. I got to go by and check. I'll go check that out. Mornings in Meridian. We're going to take a break for Fox News. Roger B., Rob Atkinson, and Charles Fraser will be back after this. Plus, your calls. Here's the number. Write it down and dial it up. 601-485-9191.
That's a gooder in there. I hadn't heard that one in a while.
Good to hear a little Mark Chestnut in the morning. And you can hear Mark Chestnut and other great country legends on our station, which it's called 105.7.
The Legend.
That's right. Glad you folks are out there. It's Mornings in Meridian, 2 best hours of local live talk radio, and that's what we're all about here. We've been coming to your front porch for many, many years. We're glad you're out there listening to us. Give us a call, 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. We appreciate that. And, of course, tomorrow, let's see, it's going to be Thursday tomorrow. We'll have NAS Meridian joining us tomorrow.
Actually, got a notice from Penny. They will be in next week.
Oh, is it next week?
Yeah, it says they will be underway with us next Thursday.
Oh.
We'll have Captain Luke Davis on the program next Thursday.
Oh, okay. Looking at the wrong text from her. Okay. Oh, Captain Luke Davis, the new base commander.
There you go.
We'll be here.
We'll be in next Thursday.
All right, so that's next Thursday. All right, well, we get to wait a week for that. Just remind folks that, on this is the Labor Day weekend coming up.
That's right.
And we will not be on the air on Monday, so you'll have a special program lined up for us.
Unless you want to come up here.
I ain't coming up here.
I ain't coming in.
Sleeping in.
I don't think so.
We'll have a couple of Labor Day programs on Monday, so we'll have the holiday off there Monday. We'll have a true crime podcast with Emily Campagno. Of course, she's on Fox. Yeah, Campagno. She's on Fox News a good bit. And Abby Hornacek's going to have a special on as well, so that'll be programs will air Monday. So we'll have Monday off for Labor Day.
Thanks, Rob, for letting us have Monday off.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Some interesting. Here's just a little interesting tidbit, guys. See what you think about it. George Washington letter that he wrote, his handwriting, his message. It's going to go up for auction. Expected to fetch about $1 million.
Wow.
How do we know it? How do we know it's real?
Yeah.
Has it been
authenticated?
Authenticated, yeah.
This was a letter he wrote weeks before his inauguration as the country's first president. It's on the auction block. The letter was written to a naval officer in Philadelphia, and he promised in the letter to make justice and public good his sole objects. Justice and public good during his presidency.
Okay.
And, of course, another letter was found and is written by Joe Biden to Hunter.
Shopping list.
It's probably not going to fetch as much money, but he says he promises to make justice benefit his family and the Democrat Party, and for the family good. That was Joe Biden's pledge in his letter versus what George Washington wrote back in 1779.
Dear dog-paced pony soldier.
Fair enough.
Little difference over time between the two presidents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Biden's letter was, I'll get him to drop the investigation, or he doesn't get the $1 billion.
Yeah.
That was in his letter.
I love how the media is panicking. Well, not really panicking. They're just putting the story out there, which obviously is a lot of hurricane coverage to get, and rightfully so in Florida. But I did see a story a day or so ago. There is some polling numbers coming back from, I guess you would say, reaction from the very crowded debate this past week.
Yeah, thanks.
Where some numbers obviously are kind of trending a little better for some of the candidates. Nikki Haley's numbers went up just a little bit. Pence saw a little nudge. Ramaswamy saw. I mean, they're all seeing a little bit of a nudge after a debate. Trump's numbers kind of went the other direction, which you would expect that after a debate. But I just love the media. Trump's numbers are taking a plunge. They're taking a plunge. Oh my God! It was like 7-8 points. It wasn't anything dramatic. He's still 20 points plus ahead in every single poll right now. So
that's the mainstream media trying to drive his numbers is what that is. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. Oh man, he's
and a lot of them were like, was it the debate? He's not there. Was it the indictment? Was it this? Was it that? It's just like, just calm down.
Well, you forgot the meeting that they have before they go on air with all this stuff. They, the news director or even the general manager, they're having the meeting with the folks. Say, look, you're going to be on camera talking about this. We're a year and a half away from this happening. Do everything you can to make this sensational.
Sure, we got to sell ads.
Exactly.
Sell the ads.
Use your voice inflection.
Right.
Talk about Trump. That's the meeting before they go out and do all this.
Well, I mean, but of course you're going to see a drop if you've got other people who are increasing because they've got to get those numbers from somewhere.
Yeah,
so,
it's because their eyes were on those candidates the other night, and folks finally got their first look at maybe a Ramaswamy who they're not very familiar with.
Yeah.
Most of the country may not be overly familiar with Nikki Haley. I think Pence they are because he was the VP at one point.
Sure.
Chris Christie's been through this process before, and of course, bless Burgum's heart and Hutchinson. They just, I mean, let's
Burgum,
be,
I liked it.
I like him too, but it's just they're
a likable guy, but is he the guy? No, I don't think
but
so.
we got exposure to folks we're not familiar with.
Sure.
So.
Got exposed.
Yeah.
And I
was not
we didn't
exposed,
really.
I'm sorry.
You were not.
No,
you didn't
I
expose
wasn't.
yourself.
No.
And well, it's good. You please don't. But and because the debate was on a Wednesday, I actually hadn't had a chance to talk to you guys about it. And so what were your thoughts at the end of it? I mean, I know what the media said, which was a little different from what I thought, but
I mean, I watched it from start to finish, and I'll be honest, it got a little testy from time to time. I think everybody was really going after Ramaswamy. I think they kind of looked at him as like, hey, he's kind of come out of nowhere. He's not the traditional politician, and the attacks were more toward him. And DeSantis really avoided any attacks from anyone since he's technically, I guess you would say, the second place guy. But Ramaswamy, he performed well. He had some good zingers, I guess you would say. But I thought Nikki Haley did well. Pence was probably a little too much in that situation. Chris Christie didn't attack as much as I thought he would. He went after Ramaswamy one time, which, he kind of joined in on the crowd on that. Yeah. And he only really attacked Trump once during the whole process. And, of course, I like Burgum. He's a good dude. But, Hutchinson got a lot of boos for a lot of his comments about Trump because I think there was more of a pro-Trump crowd there that night. But, all in all, I mean, we got a take on just about everybody on stage. And they did I saw something on a website a few days after the debate that Pence got the most talk time of anybody because he simply kept trying to force himself into the conversation.
Well, and they also had the accolades for him for the way that he responded to the January 2nd, which was weird, and he just kind of stood there and accepted it all. And I thought he was the worst one on the stage, and they actually said he had some his poll numbers went up a little bit, and I thought, why?
Yeah.
The comparison of him to Ramaswamy and the energy that Ramaswamy brought and the enthusiasm and really the intellect was just such a marked contrast with so many others, but specifically with Pence. I thought Pence is just old school, and that needs to just kind of move off the stage. And I think that Ramaswamy really had a Trump-esque way of presenting his ideas, although a lot more eloquent.
Yeah.
And there was a lot. I think his thought process was a lot clearer than Trump's would have been, or anybody else on the stage. So
I think the one time he really got attacked hard was on foreign policy.
Oh, it was terrible.
I mean, that was really his weak point of the night was Ramaswamy's foreign policy. And that's when Nikki Haley kind of went right after him.
Of course,
she's got probably.
She's got the props for that.
She's got the chops on foreign policy, and I think she really went after him. I think that's where she scored a lot of points. I think where Nikki Haley scored a lot of points with folks was her comment on abortion. I mean, she really had a great answer to that question, and I really thought that was her big moment of the night of any of the candidates. But Ramaswamy really shined. I think it's he's 38 years old, and he's got a very energetic campaign, and he's very appealing. And I think he got the attack simply because they recognize he's trending in the right direction, and he's not the typical politician. That's not his game. And they said, well, Trump was not the traditional politician. This guy concerns us just a little bit.
That's right.
And I think that's the danger for Ramaswamy is that if he gets traction and gets in the, tries to take the independent approach to it, he's going to get eaten up by the swamp because they will turn on him and attack him just like they do Trump.
Yeah, they'll have another debate. It'll be end of September. The guidelines for this debate are going to be a little bit more, I guess you would say, I don't know if stern would be a right word, but there's more guidelines they have to meet. So the stage is going to be a little smaller come this time. It may be no more than 4 or 5 candidates. So when you get to really the guts of it, then we're really going to start to see, really what these candidates really stand for. Because when you got that many folks on stage, I mean, it's just hard to moderate that and
I'm
go.
not even
Because
sure
what
if
was
you
it,
should call it
10 folks or whatever it was on stage.
I'm not even sure if you should call it a debate. If you call it, if you go by whatever definition of debate is a formal, argument on political issues.
Exchange of ideas. Yeah.
And it was just kind of a melee because when you have the moderators having to shout down the candidates and the crowd to try to do what they do, moderate, drive the show. Don't call it a debate. Call it something. That's what I was disappointed most in was the format. Now, I don't know what format. How do you do that? How do you put how many people on stage? 8 people.
It was too many.
Too many. How do you put that many people on stage? And I think it may sound boring, but if you're going to ask a question of a candidate, let's hear what they all say about that one topic.
I thought
go down the line, let everybody speak.
Yeah.
And then maybe just forget about the response to it because you don't have time for that, or you don't have the the crowd. I don't know. To me, I was disappointed in the format.
Yeah, the funniest moment of the night for me was Chris Christie getting the UFO question. I thought that was hilarious because of all the people on stage that could have got and he kind of played off the moment. He's like, "Really? I get that question?" It was kind of a funny moment because of the testimony they had on Capitol Hill with the UFOs and whatnot. But it is going to be interesting to see once they condense this down to a handful of folks up on stage. We're going to get to the nuts and bolts of this whole thing, but we're talking about this in August and September, and this is a 2024 presidential election.
A long time.
We still got a long road to go here, but the format, you're right. I mean, Brett Baer and Martha McCallum, I mean, trying to police that is so deadgum hard. I mean, it really is. And just imagine, if you will, if Trump would have been a part of that, it would have probably been...
He would have dominated.
Even worse, and it would have been just a melee, and there was no way they could have controlled it. So
there would have been some swings. Yeah. Punches thrown.
There you go.
That would have been exciting. I would have watched it for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
I like
Get physical.
I like this little meme that this just came in from the Mrs., so I got to share this. This is kind of funny. This is talking about hurricanes. It says, from Louisiana, excuse me, the state of Louisiana, we ain't scared of Friday the 13th. We scared of August 29th.
Well, anniversary of Katrina.
There's a list there of Katrina, 29th of August 2005, Gustav, 29th of August 2008, Isaac, August 29, 2012, Harvey, 29 of 2017, and then Ida was, of course, 2021.
Jeez.
And we have to remind ourselves, folks, that, we have Charles Frazier here in the studio, and you realize if it were not for Katrina, had it not been for Hurricane Katrina, we would not have Charles Frazier. And I think that's worth noting on this anniversary week.
Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, definitely. All right, I don't know what that means. If that's good or bad.
It was the hurricane that caused him to finally come to realize that he was living in the land of the pagans, the Philistines, and he decided to come to God's country.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
The land of the -6 elevation.
Yeah. Maybe that was
really it. Yeah.
Back when they said, "Hey, here's a good
level.
place to have a boat landing." Hey, it's under sea level.
Let's build some houses. We'll just drain it and build houses.
Drain it, put some levees up. We can inhabitate the swamp. Let's drain the swamp. The first ones to drain the swamp, that was the folks in New Orleans.
Yeah. Well, and I lived in the swamp. Anyway.
But anyway, it was you told stories about how you were in Hattiesburg when Katrina hit because you evacuated that far inland.
Yeah.
And then found out it wasn't far enough.
Well, no, it hit Hattiesburg and not New Orleans. So, that's the irony. Move into the path of the storm.
It's going to turn this way, so let's go this way.
Let's get there.
Charles Frazier, before he became a talk show host, he was a storm chaser.
Right. Yeah. No, the storms were chasing me. I wasn't chasing them.
But just a quick brief. I know you've told this story before, but just a quick reminder how you end up settling in Meridian.
Well, we drove up 59. So that was it. That's the quick reminder.
The storm is here. Let's go.
No, so,
and by the way, we had our own little set of damages from the storm here in Meridian.
Yeah,
too.
we did. That's right.
You just kept following the eye of it.
No, it's my brother-in-law was a partner of Robert St. John's up here at Crescent City Grill, and obviously working in New Orleans, living in New Orleans with the restaurant I was managing. We shut down after the storm. My house was literally underwater, had about 8-10 feet of water. So I was staying at my mother-in-law's, if you could imagine, in Hattiesburg, and
Wow,
I was getting old, and so he said, "Hey, I got if you want, I got an opportunity in Meridian. Go be a bartender and figure out what's going to happen in New Orleans." Because at that point we thought we didn't even know what was going to happen, if they were going to shut down the city or what they were going to do. There was talk of abandoning it, and so I said, "Yeah, let me go make some money and get out of the house for a little bit," and so did that, and kind of segued into a full-time position, and then I was GM within a couple months. And
so
then,
you bartended here at a restaurant in Meridian.
Yeah, Crescent City.
So that
was how I started, just
as
a part-time thing. He's like, I said, "Look, I need something to do," and he's like, "You can work here in Hattiesburg for me, or you can go up to Meridian." He said, "I really need people in Meridian." I was like, "That's fine, I'll do that." And he put me up in a hotel and that sort of thing. So. And then, as I said, they offered me a full-time position. We didn't know what was happening in New Orleans at that time, so I thought we'll just commit up here.
You were general manager of Crescent City Grill.
No, I was just a bartender. Then I was operations manager, and then the GM quit within a couple months, and then they moved me to GM. So
gotcha. Yeah. Okay. And so that's of course those you
very long story in a nutshell. Yeah, and so
that was a restaurant that was behind where Trucker Supply is,
right? Where the new Hilton is.
He worked his way up.
Worked the way up.
Well, already being a manager of a restaurant down in New Orleans, right?
Yeah. I've been in business for a long time. So
somebody made a good comment on Facebook. We have Joe too.
We have Joe from Chunky. Thank goodness.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's take a phone call here at 601-485-9191. Let's see what the phone lines blow in here.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing? Roger, I saw you looking over to caller ID deciding if you wanted to answer the phone.
That was not what he was looking at. Yep. Defend yourself, Roger.
What was the expression like on my face?
It was like, do I really want to do this?
Bite the bullet. Wow. Yeah.
I got to be careful.
But anyway, I was checking
notice that you are here, though.
No, you did answer. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was checking in on the more reliable of the Burks and make sure he was, I guess he's south of the hurricane, make sure everything was good with him.
Oh, Mr. Ryan, yeah. What did he say? He hasn't texted me.
Now, I'm talking about your brother.
Yeah, my brother, yes.
Is it Richard?
Yes.
He's the more reliable one because he's always here listening.
Yeah, he's there.
He checks in and, all the time. So even when you're gone, he's checking in.
Well, that's good. Yeah, he's down there in Central Florida. They're on high ground there, so all good. And I called my brother David to wish him happy birthday, and he says he's all good. So glad there's people safe in Florida.
Okay, well, my sister's birthday today. Happy birthday, Allison, too. So.
All right, Allison. So,
and I was voter number 299 at Sokolina at about 6:15 yesterday.
299.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And 300 and 301 were coming in behind me. So they were saying, we hope it's just 300 today, where we don't have to open another pack of ballots.
Yeah, they had
to. Walking out like, open that pack. Here's 301.
Yeah, here it comes.
Lock the door quick.
Bust open another pack. Well, good deal. Glad you voted. Appreciate that.
Like 800 voted 3 weeks ago, and then it was 300, a little better. So that's not too bad of a turnout, I guess.
No, not at all. But glad you kind of checking out my brother there on Facebook there. Appreciate that.
Yep. Well, glad he's doing good down there. And that, I guess it really couldn't pick a better place to hit in Florida because it's really nothing up in that area.
Yeah, I fly over it fairly frequently, and it's notably a fairly desolate coastline. It's a lot of lowlands that hasn't not been developed. There's a few fishing camps, a few fishing villages along the way there, but not too it's part of that forgotten
little
coast.
Less than Miami.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, okay. And, what about Trucker Supply? That wasn't you that threw the brick through his window yesterday, was it?
That's a great story. I want to cover that. The guy threw a brick through the window, and David Carr chased him down and held him till the police came.
Persuaded him to stay for the police to
Persuaded.
to
I
come.
like that.
yeah.
I'm sure, David.
Here's the neat thing about it. Martial art experts and instructors can persuade you.
Yes.
It's really pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very persuasive.
But anyway,
I mean,
yeah,
the
I'm glad.
guy's like what, a third-degree black belt or something like that.
Yeah. Wrong window there, Bubba.
Yeah, that's it.
I love it.
Over to McDonald's or something.
That's right. All right. We got to take a break here, Zane, but thanks for checking in with us.
You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.
There you go.
Thanks, Zane.
Maybe we'll have time to talk about the break through the window. All right. That's say you will, say you won't. That's kind of the primary election song there. Make up your mind. That's what voters
I will,
did.
I won't. I will, I won't.
I will.
Mornings in Meridian. We're wrapping up the show. Thank you for listening here this morning. We'll be back tomorrow, will we not, sir?
Absolutely. We'll be rolling in here tomorrow. Of course, inching closer to Labor Day weekend.
Big plans? Anything special going on with you
Football!
guys?
That's the plan. Watch a lot of football.
College. What's the first college football game?
Oh, that's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, Florida and Utah play tomorrow night.
That's could be a good game. It won't be in Florida.
Finally. No. I'm glad the weather then cooled down into the 80s so we can start feeling football weather.
A little bit.
Little cool down.
Yeah.
All right, with that, let's say goodbye, everybody, and see everybody tomorrow.
All right. See you, folks.
See you tomorrow.